Hey everyone, this is Roy. I've got two adventure islands here, and I stumbled upon a post on the Hobie Kayak page asking about these rudder control line tubes and replacing them. I think the gentleman showed a picture. One of them was chipped out pretty bad right here, and I've seen that. Had a Revo, a PA14, a 2009 AI, a 13 AI, and a 2017 AI. I just did a full rudder job on the 13 and the 09 actually, yeah, both. And now I just finished this 17, which is why it's sitting backwards on my trailer. Once some things set up here, I'm gonna flip it back around. But I just wanted to share with this gentleman and everyone else what I did to replace all the tubes, these black caps on either end. There's also a little black O-ring that goes over the control line and slides into the tube, so that when water ingresses, penetrates this opening here, that O-ring is supposedly supposed to keep that water from leaking inside the hull. Not a lot of water is going to come in here anyway, guys. So anyway, I'm showing this here, then we're going to go inside on my workbench, and I'm going to give you the two routes you can take to do this job. These tubes I created out of per foot polyethylene white tubing that you can order from Hobie. You can get a hold of your authorized Hobie dealer and they can order this stuff for you. So I'm going to walk you through buying the kit and how it works, and then building it all out on your own. And one area that you must do if you're going to do that, and if you don't have necessarily the skill, or you don't want to tackle that job, or you don't think it's as good as stock, that's fine. That's your decision. So let's go inside and talk about all of the parts. All right, I am back. Here I have one of the tubes from this 2017 AI. You can see it was pretty messed up. Even the white section here was kind of chipped away. But this is one that was messed up. I'll lay it down here, show you this one here. This one here is in pretty good shape actually, and I want to show you. I hope you could see this, but the end of this tubing here is factory flared. It's flared out. It almost reminds me of the PEX tool that flares out the tubing and all, but it's flared out, okay? It almost looks like the end of the tube, pardon me for saying this, but is circumcised, okay? I mean, it's got a little bit of a head and a ridge here, or a ledge, a lip, and that's so this black tube captive in here won't allow the white tube to slide through, okay? Well, when you buy this stuff, and I got this bag in, that's the part number, the Hobie part number, the white tube, it comes per foot. I forgot how many feet I got, 15 feet, not sure how many feet I got, but it doesn't come flared out. So you've got to do that yourself. So you've got to first decide, do you want to do that and save 50%, or do I just want to buy the kit? Now the kit for various, actually it's not for various, it's universal. The kit is called Line Kit Mirage Rudder Universal, and the Hobie Cat part number is 800200001. It's $95. What it comes with, 4 of these tubes with the Spectra line, this stuff with the Spectra line already inside of it. This black cap is there. The end cap, the black end cap is there. The line is run on the inside. The round O-ring, which they're little, folks, and I've got a little trick to share with you on how to get this to work. But the little O-rings, I got the part number. I'm going to read all the part numbers to you. All of it comes together with enough service for all 4 lines, rudder up, rudder down, left and right. The left and right are longer because that Spectra, 1,000-pound Hobie Spectra, goes all the way to the steer drum that's by the cockpit where the operator sits. Okay, so 4 of those all ready to go. It's 95 bucks. So spend $95 and you can do 1 boat. Or, and this is for an AI, this is a 16-foot 8-inch boat, okay? So these links are for the AI. I'm pretty confident they're gonna be less for an Outback or a PA. But here's what you need. Now, another thing I wanted to show you, the line, okay? The Hobie line is 79 cents per feet. Okay, 79 cents per feet for the 1,000-pound Hobie Spectra. Okay, it's like 2.5 millimeters. Okay, and it pretty much fills the end of the tube. This hole here. You know it. You know when it's stock. See, this one's wore, but it's 2.5 millimeter, I think, or maybe even 2 3/4 millimeter, and it's 1,000 pound, and it's Spectra, and it's Hobie, and it's 79 cents a foot. Now, some folks, and I did do this on one of the boats, I think the 09. The 09, I used 2 millimeter because the next size up is, I forgot, 4 millimeter. Basically, the next size up of this Rob Line Ocean 300 Dynama, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, is 33 cents per foot. And you can get this at West Coast Marine, this one. 2 millimeter. Again, the next size up is too big. So this is smaller diameter than the Hobie, but there's also another side effect to using this that I don't really care for. This line feels really slick. It almost has like a graphite coating. Maybe that's what it is, I'm not sure. What happens though whenever you anchor it onto the screw of the rudder and then you tighten it down, but then you need to shift it because, you know, you're playing around with the position of the steer handle and all. Once you crimp down on it, it discolors. All right, here we are. So obviously you're gonna need some tools, some parts and whatnot to do this. You need a vise. These little aluminum jaw clamp protectors, I use them all the time so I don't mar up the threads on my stainless hardware, whatever I'm cutting. Form the tube. It's going to want to be memory relaxed into a coil. You're going to take your end cap, you're going to slide, well, first of all, you're going to cut it, and believe it or not, I use PVC cutters. You can ratchet it down, it cuts it nice and clean. PVC cutters, forgot about that. You're going to slide that over and just bring that up to about an inch sticking out, 3/4 of an inch sticking out, and then I put this in the vise here, right up and clamp it on the black part, but not too tight, just enough to hold it. Okay, now let me get one more tool. No, I've got it here. Another tool that you'll need, I've got this the scratch awl here, steel, a plate of aluminum, bar stock aluminum. This conducts heat very well, so be careful with the heat. It took me a little trial and error, a few times to get this down to the best result. But anyway, you're gonna torch the end of this for 10 seconds. Heats up pretty quick, okay? And you're just gonna go real slow with this. It's probably too hot at this point, but you're just gonna stick this into here. See, you know, you can see it smoking there. That's gonna flare it out a little bit for you. It's pretty hot. You don't wanna melt it so much that it sticks to the metal and then you pull strings of polyethylene away from it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And then a little bit of a rotation there, and that ought to do it. So that's just a slight flare out there. Now, I'm gonna put my glove on here and I'm gonna heat this for, again, 10 to 15 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds here. Okay. I just get it close to my cheek and I could feel that heat radiating off. Of course, I could do a thermometer here, but I'm not gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hold this up and press, and it'll start to form a bead around the perimeter. See that bead? I hope you guys can see this. And that aluminum gets hot, even with this leather glove. Okay, that's probably enough. Okay, take this out here. You can see it's a symmetrical enough. You can see a little bit of a ridge. Can you see a little bit of a ridge there? You can see that ridge. And now you slide this and it's locked in. It is not coming out. And think about this for a second. It doesn't have to be super strong anyway. Your line is going through this. There's not a lot of friction. Really, the friction steps up a notch when you put that O-ring in, which I'm gonna have to show you what a PETA that is and what I had to do to figure out how to make that work. But anyway, so this part is done. Now what you're going to do is you're gonna get your spectra, make sure you measure it out. Now what I end up doing, you can melt this stuff with a lighter. What I like to do is when it's still kind of hot, I'll, even with my bare fingers, kind of just roll it. Obviously you can see my fingers are all beat up. I do a lot of working in the garage and whatnot around the house. So anyway, you want to get this as nice and tight and smooth as possible. Then I go and take some CA glue, some super glue, with a toothpick, and I'll come down about a 1/2 inch and I'll let it wick in there and let it dry. That makes a nice stiff 1/2 inch section. That's very important for when you go to put this O-ring on. So anyway, you go and you slide this in here, which of course it's not going to work for me right now because I don't have the super glue on it. So I'll be right back. All right, so now you take your section of spectra after you've got that super glue dried on the end. It only takes about 10 minutes for it to fully dry. Pull it out. Now, this is going to be on the outside of your kayak. I'll go ahead and put in 1/2 hitch here just to keep it captive and it won't pull through, okay? Now we got it through the other end. Now, the part that I don't have any more of is the I think it's called the tube holder, this one, and it's the black one that goes on this end, and I'll show it to you here. It's this one here, okay? So what you're going to do now is first thing you need to do is you need to put the O-ring on, okay? And I'm telling you, this was really tricky for me, but I even used some silicone lubricant a little bit to make this work. But with that super glue on there, that's stiff enough now, you can just kind of work this over that end and it'll finally go. Just like that. I hope, anyway, for the sake of this video. Sorry the video's so long, it's ad hoc, you know, I didn't script anything. I tend to go into too much detail, but there it is. So you can do it. I sat there and did it for you right there on camera. Okay, so now you're going to slide this O-ring all the way down to where it meets the tube, but you're also going to pull, I would have this 1/2 hitch closer to the end. You want to have that all the way up to here, so you have all the service to pull that O-ring up as far into this tube that you can possibly pull it into the tube. So what you do, kind of pull a little bit, just a little bit, put some tension on it, and it's stuck there now, and now it's gonna get a little tweaker screwdriver or whatever, push that down in there, and it's already going. It's good. So see, now what you're going to do is you're going to pull the outside and you're going to suck that O-ring up at least about halfway through, roughly. Okay, now you're going to take that not the end cap, the tube holder, slide it over and then mash it into the end of that, and you're done with the setup. Now you'll feed that through the hole in your hull in the back end of your kayak, push it all the way in, and then seat this new end cap, they call it end cap, seat it into the hole, and you're good to go. Now, one last final thing, when you're, for the up and down, you'll have this black nylon, but for the steering, at least in my AI, it goes all the way up to the steer drum below the handle. And in that case, I use what's called a bunt line hitch with a half hitch at the tag end or the working or whatever to keep it all locked in. There are screws and nylock nut and a panhead screw, you know, machine screw. I opted for bunt line hitch knot. It's going to hold a lot better. It's not going to ever slip. But anyway, you've got to put these two together. So now this is coming from the forward part of your boat. You're going to bring it back as far as possible. You're going to have the rear hatch open. You can reach in there and grab this. You're going to have one half hitch on the end, just an overhand half hitch, just like that. Tighten it down nice and tight. So that'll be like that. Now to join them, and Hobie's got a video of this, and I'm sure other people have got a video, you're just going to make a loop knot about 6 inches, roughly 6 inches. Come over and make a loop knot, just like that. Now you probably do it a little neater than that without that much tag in, so you don't waste as much. But here's the magic sauce here. Here's how you make this loop knot to join to this half hitch on the end of the nylon. Come underneath, just like that. Hopefully you can see that. Come underneath. And then rotate them up. So see, you've got a loop and a hole there. You're gonna bring this over, tighten this down, and now you've got a really secure union there, and you're done. This is for the rudder up or down, and that's what you do for that union. So that's it, folks. You got all the part numbers, you got the price difference, you know what you've got to do here. That's the key. That's the color is pretty bad. All of that rubs off, that coating, okay? Furthermore, because the coating is there, I have found this to slip under screw tension at the rudder end, more so than the Hobie Spectra. Okay, so I just want to share with you, this is the 2mm Robline Ocean 300 Dynama, 33 cents per foot, okay? But if you're going Hobie for an AI, Adventure Island, you're gonna need Hobie Cat part number 91051, and you're gonna need 30 feet of it for an AI, okay, at 79 cents per foot. Then you're gonna need the Hobie tube holders. The tube holders are end cap tube holder. I think it's these black ones. You're gonna need 4 of them. Hobie Cat part number 91405. You're gonna need 4 of these. Then you're gonna need the end cap. This cap, you're gonna need 4 of them. They're $1.39 each. So are the tube holders, $1.39. You're gonna need 4 of those. And you're going to need the poly tube, this poly tube, which you can see in this bag here. I ordered 16 feet, which is way too much. And this isn't the excess. I've got other pieces of it laying somewhere. But you only need 12 feet for the Adventure Island. And that part number, Hobie Cat part number is 814000001. 79 cents per foot. You need 12 feet of it. And then finally you need 4 of these little O-rings. Okay, I ordered 6, and there's the other 2, spare 2. And they are called Hobie Rudder Line O-ring, Hobie Cat part number 91403 at 25 cents each. You add all this up, and the do-it-yourself version will run you $45.30. Again, the kit is $95. So less than half, I think, right? Yeah, $90. Less than half you can do it yourself, but I'm gonna have to show you how you flare this out, or at least how I flared it out, and it seemed to work just fine. I'm pretty sure anyway. So far, so good. So at $95, you can buy enough to do 2 kayaks if you wanted to do 2 kayaks. So let's go into how I put this all together, flared out these ends and whatnot. One sec. Key. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty factory if you ask me from the end. One of mine out there, the first one, was kind of a trial. It still is fine, but I flared it out too much, and then I got some side cutters around it. It looks a little more janky, but the rest look like this. It's fine. So I hope that's helpful. If you got any questions, let me know. Again, I now have an authorized Hobie dealer in the Austin, Texas area. So the guy there, his name is Forrest. No Bad Days Kayak, awesome shop. They can help you out if you're in the Austin area. If you're not, hopefully the next best thing is a local Hobie dealer. If that doesn't work, West Coast Selling or Mariner Sells. Florida, there's a what's it called? Panhandle of Florida, Sunjammers. They're an authorized Hobie dealer. Affordable shipping. So anyway, hope this helps, guys. Take care. Bye.